Welcome back to Indian Trace. This is like a take 3, but I was going to pull what you're looking at, which are really a collection of keepers from about the last 2 weeks. And we're going to take a close-up and personal of these because for these, it's moving day. At least in the next 24, 48 hours, I've got to move these. All of these, except for the hammerstones, because I keep them outside, which are 2 great hammerstones that I'm really seriously, I know this one, we'll take a look at it, I'm going to keep. This one I'm not sure yet. I have to go through and contemplate when it comes to, look at these pieces, when it comes to the artifacts. And we've got a couple groups here, a group of small ones and a group of large ones. Too fast, right? Group of small ones. And on the other side, a group of larger ones. For the last 2 weeks, I'm so humbled. So we're going to get an up close and personal of these so we can get them in focus. There's incredible stuff here. Just incredible stuff. So humbling. But to give you an idea of what we're looking at here as I pan out, hopefully I can get this focus working quickly. There we go. This is 1/7 of what I've been able to bring in. And as I mentioned on video, and a lot of these were on video, these are the top shelf ones I found. It's 1/7 of what I brought in, and it humbles me. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to make my best effort to save this stuff. How could I, in conscience, let this stuff just be broken up when I know what it constitutes? So we'll probably just go through this and make a couple comments about keepers and that sort of thing. And the reason why I always am contemplating whether or not it's going to be a keeper, of course I brought it in, I collect it and keep it all, but I'll share a lot of it if I have guests come over and they're interested in it, if I have kids come by or whatever, to share the love and the passion that I think is right, that has been neglected, shunned even in the past when it comes to the North American Indian. Now, of course, these are not modern. These are not historic period Indians we're looking at with all of this great artifacts. What a great stone there. And this one, it was a full round, full oval, and they used it and worked it right off. But I will mention this as we look at these hammerstones. Look at this hammerstone. We've seen it before, but I just want to do a cleanup, and it'll be the last time we see this stuff. We're moving forward. I got another basket like that that's starting to get a handful of points in it for this week. But when I say subjective, I mean that over time, over the last 5 years, my perspective of what I'm going to keep and what I'm not changes. Because I'm finding stuff that I never dreamed of being able to find. Where once I was happy to run 11 miles and find one arrowhead. That was great. Now I don't even know if I could stomach that. I have just gotten to know too much about sites and gotten to understand too much about how to find and how to locate, where I don't know if I would be content with running 11 miles and finding one artifact. Look at those 2 pieces. Just fantastic stones. And they're not just stones. These right here you're looking at, tuning into Indian Trace, are tools that are responsible for these. And tools that are responsible in part of the production for these. Unbelievable couple weeks. I'm stunned. Anyway, I had a question come in as we go through these, and these are stunning. And I'm just going to do a slow flyover of these, and we'll take a good look at what I've been able to bring in the last couple weeks. Clean, perfect light. Question was, because I often put political interest links, because I will on this one. But the question was, how do you know what news to follow? How do you know where to find your reports and your news? Look at this piece from Saponi. This is an incredible little triangle. Rich material. So, I like that question. It was a very, very important question in terms of people moving forward. Now, if you don't want to know anything about what's going on in the world, I can't help you. But if you want to know the truth, there's a great way to move forward. And my response to them was very simple. I wrote the word trust. You have to find avenues journalists, reporters that you trust. And it's going to be based on what the constitution of your own beliefs are. And, it was interesting because I mentioned to them that I have about 7 under my channel, 7 alternative news feeds, which means that it's different types of people for sure, different personalities, different presentations. Look at that point from the garden, and they just turned the garden. The garden's all turned, fresh dirt. I can't even believe it. The garden has some crazy potential. This Guilford was found at the garden. This was found at the garden the same day. So when it came to that, if I had those 7 feeds on my YouTube channels, which I can get to really quickly, and they work hard as journalists, check out those 7 different feeds I have under my subscriptions. And I really only keep about 25 subscriptions. It's very easy to find them. You'll find somebody that you like, that you trust. Also, driving around in the car, I'll trust Rush any day, Rush Limbaugh. Some people are furious, set against many of these news feeds that I have, but they have never taken a moment to listen for themselves. I promise you that. At least if I know. If you have a steady head on your shoulders, if you're a decent person, look at this piece from the Bear. If you're straightforward, it's pretty interesting because these feeds, they all have a few things in common, 1 or 2 things in common. Look at this point again. This is from the garden. Remember these two points right here. If you're looking at them, these are both from the garden. Crazy new place. It's really interesting how new places just continue to be added in to my consciousness. That's another thing that humbles me. So I continue, this is a hobby that continues to humble. It really does. Here's a piece from Notchville. I pulled some points out of this week and last week out of Notchville, and they've gone through and they double turn the whole thing again. Many of these points that you see, many, including all the ones from the garden, these 2 from the garden, my goodness, could have been lost forever, could have been busted up. The machines are relentless. So I get out there. What was I saying? Here's the 3 points that I think all of my news channels support. Number 1, they're openly God-based. They believe in creative design. They believe in God. They believe in Jesus Christ and everything that Jesus Christ said he was when he came. It's really important. And these people are journalists, reporters that report on what's going on in the world. Nice point, huh? Here's another point. Rhyolite, found at Smoke Alley. Nice stuff. And this as well. This is a piece of banded rhyolite. If that was wet, you'd see these bands really come out. Give you a good look at them, and I think you can see where it's coming from. Anyway, I guess another point would be that they're openly conservative and nationalist, these news feeds, if you're interested. I've got to plug this stuff. Because, you can be conservative or not, it doesn't matter to me. But I would like every single American to be a nationalist, to be proud of their nation, to want a better country, to want to preserve it, and do their best to make the country work. This is a great point from Notchville. Look at that quartz. So those are 2 things. They're openly God-based and they're openly conservative nationalists. Every one of these feeds. I'm going to promise you, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, they are not. They are not nationalists. They're globalists. NPR, they're globalists. And they want a one world government, which will destroy our nation. It will destroy your freedom. I don't even want to get into that right now. Now the last thing though, I want to, and look at this group here on this side. I know I'm going around crazy here. Incredible set of smaller points on this side. My gracious, remember, these are the things here, and these tools are what are responsible. Those hammerstones, and look at what's backing them up. Absolutely love this point right here. Just something about this point right there. I mean to tell you, right? Love it. And the one next to it, I like these 2. I know I'm getting distracted by this stuff and trying to give you a good angle on it. Bear with me, bear with me. Now, the 3rd point that I want to mention as we sail along here, look at this G10 point found from Smoke Alley. crazy nice is that they openly support the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Every one of the 7 news feeds that I have for different people, personalities, journalists, they're all journalists. They don't answer to anybody. They don't take somebody's talking point and try to change the way your public opinion is, the way you think. No, they just want to tell you what's going on, and then they want you to do your part as an American, to support, to vote, to move forward. Look at this point, will you? Mercy, that was a nice point, Smoke Hill. What an incredible 2 weeks. Look at this point. Hidden Hill, which has been doubled again, mixed up, turned. That's Rhyolite. So those 3 things, openly God-based, conservative nationalists. What else? They support the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. What can be wrong with that? There's a lot wrong with that when it comes to the modern news media. They have plenty wrong with that. How do you know? Because they hate our president. Those are all the things that he supports openly and with his words. Look at this point. This Yadkin. Wow. Good point, right? Good week. All right, enough of that. But I want to tell you this as we look at these small ones by doubles. Little Marl Mountain here in Rhyolites, what you're looking at. This, of course, is from Notchville. Some of these were all on camera, all on film. Nice points. The link here, the political interest link, is a great conversation between a husband and wife named Bill and Beth. Their last name is Still. One of my news feeds is the Still Report. Bill puts it out, but this is Bill and Beth, husband and wife, on the couch talking about what on earth is going on with your president. It's funny, it's witty, it's transparent and straightforward. They're both journalists, and it's funny how Beth keeps Bill in line concerning godliness and the scripture and stuff, and they're very strong Christians. So if you like Christianity and you believe in it, you should watch the link that's attached to this. I think you'll smile, I think you'll laugh, I think it'll encourage you. What a great perspective they have. That's why I follow the Still Report, which is just one. And I think you can move forward with everything that's going on, as long as you keep your ears and your eyes away from continual propaganda and lies. And I don't need to tell you where that's coming from. Look at these 2 points. I was here today. That came from the Bear too. Hidden Hill is this Marl Mountain right here. All right, here's a couple pieces of flint right here. I'll give you the group of 3 as we finish here on the top. Little Marl Mountain on the very top. Look at him. And these 2 smokers in Flint from Slate 5E. And this got a lot of comments. This piece right here as we finish up. It is as jade and as green as you can see it against my red hands. It's hot in here. I figured I'm just going to go ahead and do it and make my best effort. A lot of comments on that little point. Don't find them that often here in that kind of flint. Neither the other black one right here. And those were found in the same general area, Site 5E. So, great stuff. Remember, Bill and Beth Still are journalists. They're sort of country, I guess you call them country, you call them what you will. What a great couple. And how they've supported our president since the beginning with their prayers, and they're unabashedly happy to talk about praying for our leaders and our president, which I like. Great hammerstones found this week. So I guess that really concludes this cleanup and moving day. Always try to do it a little different of the great stuff that I've been able to find this last 2 weeks. So as I finish up, any questions you have, any comments, any research that you can add or what have you to all the political interest links that I have, feel free to. I'm open to it. There's nothing wrong with the open discussion of thoughts and ideas. Unfortunately, there's some people who completely say that shouldn't happen. And with violence, they want to make it so you can't even discuss good ideas. Because the best ideas will always win. The best way to go will always win, as it did in this country. As it did with the Revolution, as it did with the Constitution, as it has with the Bill of Rights, which are statements of rights we already have. And don't forget that as a history teacher, I can rant and rave. Some great stones right there that brought all these points out. Thanks for tuning in to Indian Trace, and I'll fly right to a couple of my favorites. Three. Of course, it's my hope that you find out there. Everybody, be well.